In this video, you will learn how to find the area of a polygon. First, we need to divide the polygon into triangles. So if I were to divide this polygon, I'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So if I count again, just double check. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 triangles. Now if I figure out what each of these central angles are, because since I have the fact that these are all split a regular polygon, all of these interior angles are congruent. And we know that all the angles around a point are 360. So if I take the number 360 and I divide it by the number of triangles, so in this case you would divide it by 12. When you type that in your calculator, it gives you a value of 30, which means that each of these angles is 30, which I can label on the diagram. So I first split into triangles, then we found the measure of the vertex angle. Now the next step we have to do is redraw the triangle and calculate the height. So if I take my triangle and I redraw it, we know that this whole side length is 3, and we know that this angle at the top of the triangle is 30. However, in order to find the height, you're going to have to split this triangle in half. Now that means that the 30 is going to be split in half, so it'll be 30 divided by 2, which will give you an angle of 15. So this angle is 15, and this angle is also 15. Now the other thing we know is this base of the triangle is split in half as well. So if I take the side length of 3 and divide it by 2, this gives us a value of 1.5. So each of these parts of the base is 1.5. Now, in order to calculate the height, we need to find what this value of h is. So if I set up my problem using trig, this is my vertex angle, and I have the opposite and adjacent. And since I have the opposite and adjacent, we're going to use tangent. So you could say tangent of 15 equals 1.5 over h. And if I were to solve, you would have to multiply both sides by h. So you have h times tangent of 15 equals 1.5, and divide both sides by tangent of 15 to give you that 1.5 divided by tangent of 15 equals 5.6. So now the result of our calculation gives us that h equals 5.6. Now, once we have all this information, the next thing we're going to do is calculate the area of one triangle. So we know that area of a triangle equals 1/2 times the base times the height. So in this case, the area of the triangle equals the base is our value of 3. So it's 1/2 times 3 times the height, which was the value of h, which we calculated to be 5.6. So if we plug that in the calculator, we have 1/2 times 3 times 5.6 gives you a value of 8.4. And now the final part of our calculation is you're going to multiply by the number of triangles. So your area of the total for the whole polygon equals the number of triangles times the area of one triangle. So in this case, we found in the first part that there was 12 triangles. So it's going to be 12 times 8.4. Multiply by 12, made a value of 100.8 yards squared, which is our final answer. Now, if you are given a problem like this, the first thing you're still going to do is split the polygon into triangles. So if I set this up, I can split this into triangles. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 7 triangles. Now, the key difference is that rather than giving us one side length, the problem tells us that the perimeter is 49. And since this is a regular polygon, we know that all of these sides are congruent. So the next thing we would do is determine length of one side. So in order to do that, you would do the perimeter divided by the number of triangles. So in this problem, it would be 49 divided by 7, which would give you 7, meaning that each of these triangles would have a side length of 7. Now, once we do this part, we're going to continue like we would for example 1. So the next thing you do is determine vertex angle measures. Then you would calculate height of the triangle. Then you would calculate area of the triangle. And then lastly, multiply by number of triangles for a total area. And again, these steps are the same process as example 1.